Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff. Today we are reacting to another one of your sponsored requests. This one comes from user JY, and this is their second sponsored request of their 3 for this month. And this one is for Super Junior-D&E. Now I just did Super Junior-T. If I recall correctly, T was the second subunit. I looked it up. This is the 5th official subunit of Super Junior. I don't know how many they've actually got or have had, but that's quite a bit already. Do they have more than 5? Because it's kind of nuts. Okay, this song is called GGB, or spelled out in Hangul is GGB. Okay, not much different. So I don't know what that means. I did see a lot of articles saying that the subunit pulled out of music shows because of the controversial title, but I don't know why it's controversial. I didn't do any more digging than that. The only reason I even looked that far is because I was looking up their name to figure out what subunit they were. I have looked. There are no subtitles. Well, there are, but they're auto-generated. So again, I'm going to have lyrics pulled up on the second monitor. We'll listen through the first time. Then the second time, we'll follow along with the lyrics and see what we can find. So, without anything else, let's head over and check out Super Junior-D&E with GGB. Pretty CGI bird. Why y'all on a prison bus? Got a nice fun bounce to it. What medicine are y'all taking? Felt the beat drop coming. Cheers. Aww. Is that, huh? Love the groove with this one, and their vocals are solid too. All right. Aww. Hug time. All right. I like that one. I don't know what the problem is with GGB. For them to pull out of a show and it be controversial, it has to mean something. But this seemed all bright and sunny and, you know, like I don't know, just like a feel-good song, at least from the music. Now, I don't know what the lyrics are saying. The video makes it look like there might be this element of regret, though. Because like we saw him, you know, fighting with the girl, walking away, and then it was almost like time, like if you could rewind time, it would have been done differently, and he would have, you know, hugged her, made up with her, kind of thing. I don't know, like I said, because I have no lyrics on the first playthrough, I don't know what the message really is. So we're gonna follow along with the lyrics on playthrough number 2. But overall, yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It had um, a really nice groove to it. So I was gonna say you could dance to it. I guess you could. I'm not sure that it's meant to be a dance song, but I mean, I guess any song could be a dance song if you try hard enough. Okay, so we're starting here on this bus, and it looks like a bus that's taking them to a correctional facility. I said a prison bus, but close enough. Um, Normally, at least in America, you'll see if it's a bus that looks like this, that looks like a school bus, but it's painted solid white with really no markings, then it's usually the destination is usually for a correctional facility, whether it be mental or prison. All right, so they're stepping off the bus. It broke down. That by the way, that may not be what's going on here. That's just the context that I have. Okay, GGB retreat. What does this say? Give yourself permission to. I can't tell what that last word says. Give yourself permission to rest. Okay. So they're not going to a correctional facility that we know of. Although we did see them getting pills later, so maybe it is like almost like a AA type of thing, Alcoholics Anonymous, but they're also getting psychiatric medications. And then we also have like this almost psychedelic type of thing where they're like tripping out, it's spinning, the graphics are changing. Welcome, friends. You can put all your memories of the girl in here, and we'll lock it away. Alright, so I don't know, actually, this particular lyric site does distinguish between the two artists, so I'll let them finish. So now they're getting their scheduled medications. Okay, so this first verse, seasons pass, temperatures change, yet my heart still goes to you. So obviously, at least in this case, from those first two lines, I assume we're talking about a breakup, and that as time has gone on, they either regret it, or they wish they could undo it, or that they're just still in love with that person, even if it was a mutual breakup. We don't know yet, but the sentiment is still the same. The past timeline where you and I stayed, how could I forget here alone? So actually, that scene we're going to see at the end of the video, I think, is talking about those lines. Because remember, in that scene at the end, he walks away. But we also saw like a diverging timeline in a way, like a multiverse. And in one timeline, he stayed, and he's like, how could I forget now that I'm here alone, what we had. All right, so then the Donghae comes in. Yeah, how have you been? I've been doing fine alone. Suddenly my mind drifted slightly to thoughts of you. So yeah, this is like reminiscing on something, like maybe you are having a conversation in your mind about what you would say to this person, or in theory, maybe this is actually him talking to her, but from what we saw in the video, that's not the case. They're taking medications, and I think those medications are there to help them forget in this case. So he's like, suddenly my mind drifted slightly to thoughts of you. There's no oasis in this place without you. So, this life, it's hard, and there's no sanctuary. There's no place where I can feel relaxed unless you're there. Even here in this retreat where, it's supposed to be a getaway and you're supposed to be able to, get your mind off of things like that. You actually saw him. He's by himself in some of these scenes. We don't actually see him. We see him take the medication, and then later on we're gonna see him like in the circle with everybody talking, and he's gonna kind of like zone out and look around, kind of thing. But anyway. And then the last line of that first verse: for days I've been thirsty, please shower me with rain. Kind of like a flower, flowers need water to survive and gain nutrients. So he wants her to rain her love down on him. He misses her presence. So this seems to be a song post breakup of longing for the ex. Now he's like watching the memories through a TV, like his mind's eye. Okay, so the pre-chorus: our memories from back then, before it's too late, I'm sorry. So he's thinking back, he's reminiscing, he's seeing the images, and then he wishes he could say before it got too late that he's sorry. Where are you? Take me with you quickly. Let's just get away. Just the two of us. Hold my hand, we can fly. Pretty self-explanatory there. But now here in the video, it's like they're trying to break away, or like break out of this little retreat area that maybe they're like almost being forced to go to. And they've somehow stumbled back into the party area. Then we got old boy here. Cheers. So the chorus: night with the lights on, thinking of you. That line hits kind of hard because sometimes, especially if it's fresh after a breakup, especially if you spent a lot of time with them, sleeping alone in the dark, it can almost feel crushingly lonely. And so, like, they're talking about having the lights on because at least in some small way it makes them feel less alone. Don't know the end, tossing and turning, night where I'm fine even without you. Even if it's a bit sad, what can I do? I'll watch over you from afar. Like, even if I have to acknowledge that this is the reality, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop loving you or wanting happiness for you. I'm going to be watching over you. You could also take that as a stalker thing, like, I'm watching you. But yeah, it's not designed to be that way, I don't think, but it'd be kind of interesting if it were. So the post-chorus: such a beautiful girl, like the rainbow we used to see, such a beautiful girl, even if it's a bit sad, what can I do? I'll watch over you from afar. So he's comparing her beauty to a rainbow that they used to see together, any rainbow. But he's reminiscing on how beautiful he thinks she is, and GGB must be beautiful girl, but it has to have a different meaning. Because that's the first time we hear GGB in the song that I can think of. And if this is an accurate translation and it actually means beautiful girl, there's no way they pulled out of a music show with a song this upbeat and bright. And even though it's bright, it has a sad message. But yeah, that someone's gonna have to let me know, like, what. Well, I say someone's gonna have to let me know, but honestly, I'm gonna look it up after I finish this, and I'm probably already gonna know. But feel free to let me know in the comments anyway. All right, moving on to verse 2. All right, so now we've got the fight that they're having here. Okay, verse 2. Still, you're my own bucket list. So a bucket list is a thing, you know, a list of things you want to do before you die, you know, before you kick the bucket. So you're my own bucket list. So like he wants, I mean, you could take that as a literal translation of what I just said. He wants to do her before he dies, but yeah, I think it's a little more wholesome than that. Probably he just wants to, you know, get her back before it's too late, essentially. The music we used to listen to every day. Of course, we didn't actually see any music going on in that scene. This is actually hitting into the pre-chorus, so don't let this fool you, but it's probably referring to that line. But anyway, the music we used to listen to every day is still on the playlist. The genre of our story isn't romance. So it's not a love song. If you were to make a list of the music not that we listened to, but that gave the feeling of us together, it's not a romance. It's fantasy mixed with action, a complicated scenario. So, you know, breakups are messy. Relationships are not always clear cut. You know, so it can be complicated, and that's why it's not just a pure romance genre. I like that that wordplay there. So there's that scene I talked about with him looking around. Alright, they're breaking out. Okay, so the pre-chorus, is that the same as before? It looks different. No, okay, it's different. Can't think of anything else. I'm falling. Our love story of being together. I can't forget. I'm waiting for you. So, like, they're on this retreat. And remember, they're like, it's almost like a rehab thing. Like I said, like an Alcoholics Anonymous type of setting. But it's designed to make them forget. And between the medications and the therapy group sessions and everything else. But they're like, you know, our love story was so profound, I can't forget it anyway. And this guy on the left, I don't know which member he is. I only got a 50-50 shot, but I'm going to say that that's Donghae. I don't know. 50-50, right? Anyway. So you saw him looking around, like it's almost like he's broken the spell of this place, or that it's never worked in the first place. And so he's trying to get out. And now they've all kind of broken out. So maybe, even though this place was designed to give them respite and maybe even erase their memories, maybe they ended up cherishing the memories more than they wanted to forget them. Let's see. Where did I leave? Okay, where are you? Take me with you quickly. Okay, this part's the same. Let's just get away. Just the two of us. Hold my hand. We can fly. This is the chorus again. So we got that bird. And it's like, the bird is like what's reminding them of the alternate timeline or something. I don't really know. I know I'm in the vicinity on this one, but I don't know how close I really am. Like I said, it's like the bird is some gateway, or like is giving a vision of a reality that could have been. The bridge is the same as the intro. Now we're in this alternate timeline. Okay, that's still the bridge apparently. But yeah, we've got this alternate timeline where, remember we talked about it at the beginning, where like if they had stayed together instead of going their separate ways. Okay, so the post-chorus, I don't know that they labeled this properly, because that is the chorus again, but they labeled this part the chorus. Was it a love that lingered for a moment? Was our fate only up to this point? So in other words, was this just a season in our lives? Was this not really meant to be? Can I never see that beautiful smile again? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can't you come to my lonely heart just for a moment? And we saw like that brief fleeting instant of where he saw that alternate timeline, or maybe saw what he wanted to see, I don't know, where they actually were together and he was happy again for that moment, and then it disappeared. This looks like it was filmed like somewhere out here in America. I don't know where, maybe like New Mexico or Arizona. I don't know. Alright guys, that is the reaction for Super Junior-D&E with GGB. And I enjoyed that song. I don't know what the controversy is. I'm going to find out though. Maybe before I do the next video, maybe after, I don't know, but I will find out soon. But message wise, of course, it's longing to reunite with an ex that maybe you didn't want to break up with, or maybe you realized afterwards that you shouldn't have, or that you messed up. Whatever the case is, they're reminiscing and wanting those times back. I think that's relatable for a lot of people. I know I can relate to that message in a lot of ways myself. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks again for the request, and shout out to all the Patreon users. They'll be right up here. If you're not familiar, there is a Patreon. There's free stuff there. There's paid subs. Subscribers get access to guaranteed prioritized requests every month, as well as stuff that I can't put here on the YouTube channel, like survival shows, concert experience videos, whatever. Sorry, I have like a gnat flying around. Anyway, for the request queue, there's a link in the description below that you can look at any time to see what's on the request queue, how far away it is, so on and so forth. And if you want to get to the top of the queue, but you don't want to sub to Patreon, there is a PayPal link down there that you can sponsor a request through as well. But thanks for checking this one out, everybody. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care, guys.